Hey guys, this is Caitlin from Broussard Homestead. I'm helping Mom and Brett make some more super laundry sauce. It's a homemade laundry soap that we use for our laundry. It's gonna be great!
Well, that was corny. Okay guys, so this is called Super Laundry Sauce. It's a recipe we found online. It makes a ½ gallon of concentrate. Some of the things you'll need is a bar of soap. Fells naphtha is recommended for this recipe, but since we have this Dr. Bronner's lavender soap on hand, it's a little more expensive, but since we have it, we're going to use it. We like the smell of it. This is Castile soap. If you don't know what Castile soap is, it's an all-natural soap. There's no chemicals, and the lavender scent comes from essential oils. We're also going to be using a cup of borax and a cup of washing soda. The first step is going to be to grate the soap with the cheese grater, our trusty cheese grater. We've been asked before, is it okay to use any cheese grater to grate soap? Would it be okay to use it again for cheese? And my answer, jokingly, was, what would you clean it with? Because this is soap. So anyway, the answer is yes. It's perfectly fine. Use soap on your cheese grater, no problems. So Katie is going to go ahead and do that for us. That'll be the first step.
The whole bar goes into the recipe, so I'm gonna grate the whole thing.
Once the soap is all grated, it looks like cheese, but I assure you, this is not good on pizza.
Now that we have all of our soap grated and cut up into small pieces, you can use a food processor, a cheese grater, or a knife, or anything you want. I like to get it as small as possible, that way it melts pretty quickly. We're going to start with 4 cups of water, and we're going to get that to pretty much a rolling boil. You want to heat it. It needs to be at a rolling boil once you start dissolving your soap. Now that our water is heating up, we're going to go ahead and add the soap. I use a stainless steel pot and stainless steel spoons. They're easier to get the soap residue off, and when you're finished with everything and it's cleaned up really well, it's soap, so everything's going to be like extremely clean. We're going to go ahead and add our soap pieces to the heating water. You want to just stir that in and kind of heat it up. You want your soap to dissolve completely. Soap tends to stick together some, so you want to make sure that you stir it and keep it heating until all of that dissolves. Alright, I've got a boil and I've reduced my heat down to medium, because you don't want it to boil over. Oh. You just want to get it to a good rolling boil. Now that all of our soap is dissolved, we're going to add a cup of borax and a cup of washing soda. The recipe recommends to remove from heat. I normally don't. I just turn down the heat. Add in the washing soda, and you're going to stir that in. You want it to completely dissolve. If it doesn't dissolve all the way, then it's going to be left really gritty. And I don't like it that way. Go ahead and turn off the heat. Just going to keep stirring. You can feel the grittiness of it at the bottom of the pot. You want to stir until all that gritty feeling is gone. Okay, once the grittiness is dissolved completely, you can't feel it anymore. Our heat's off. We're going to take our liquid and we're going to use 2 quart-size mason jars, and we're going to kind of even it out where we put half in one jar and half in the other. It's good to kind of let the foam settle down. Okay, we're gonna let the foam go down a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfectly even in the jars. Then we're gonna top it off with hot water. Bring your detergent liquid up to the shoulder of the jar. Okay, I used a butter knife and I kind of stirred it in a little bit just to kind of mix it up. But you can see the difference in the water versus the soap. And we're going to put lids and rings on this and we're going to let it sit and let it cool for about 4 or 5 hours. Okay, now that our soap is cooled down, it's been sitting for 4 hours. We flip the jars back upside down. It's solidified. There you can see the air space at the bottom of the jar, liquid at the top. And this is a solid mass of soap. I've got 2 different kinds of spatulas because I'm not sure exactly which one I'm going to use. Probably the longer one to fit all the way down in the jar. I've got an old ice cream bucket that I just kind of recycle. And we're going to use our hand mixer. Be very careful when you open the jars. I recommend opening away from you because sometimes when you pop the lid like that, the liquid just goes everywhere. On the original recipe that I got, it tells you that you can do this with a blender. However, my recommendation is to not use the blender. We used an old style blender and you were able to take the blades off the bottom and put it straight down onto your canning jar. Well, when you flip the jar upside down and you blend it, I had soap go everywhere. And I ended up messing up my blender because of it. And it was a lot to clean. So we're gonna pour this down into our ice cream bucket. And all of the solid part stays. I'm gonna have to use the small one. Just kind of have to break it up. It's almost like a jelly. You can use a butter knife for this too. No, this works. It takes a little while. You can just cut it up in pieces. Try to scrape as much as I can out of the bottom of the jar. Alright, that's one done. And it looks like a goo, almost like a jelly. It's kind of gross. It smells really good though. Alright, now that we have all the contents out of the jar, it's like a bucket of jelly. We're going to use our hand mixer and we're going to put it down in there and mix it up until it's about the consistency of mayonnaise. Alright, and that's it. I like to use a disposable spoon to scoop out the soap. Just 1 spoonful and you put it into your washing machine straight in with the clothes, whether it's an HE washer or not. This doesn't suds up a whole heck of a lot, so it can be used in either the old style or the new HE. This recipe makes a half a gallon. You can easily double it and make a full gallon. It'll do approximately 128 loads of laundry. I do not recommend using OxyClean or baking soda as an additive to this because once you put the lid on it, in about a week it'll explode. It's some kind of reaction that it causes. That's what I've heard. I haven't done it myself. This can be stored. I put the ice cream lid, I put it on there and I have a label on it. I stick it on top of my washing machine. This can be stored indefinitely. It will get firmer. It gets a thicker consistency after it sits, but it still works just fine. It dissolves perfectly fine. A tablespoon of the soap is all you need. I put it, I turn my washer on and then I put the spoon underneath the water. Hot water, cold water, it doesn't matter. And just let it slide off the spoon directly onto the dirty clothes. It cleans great. It smells wonderful because for this batch we use the Castile soap that is lavender scented. But if you use a Fels naphtha soap or an ivory soap, you can always add essential oils to it.
I find the Fels naphtha to smell good too.
Yeah, the Fels naphtha smells pretty good.
Another thing that's pretty important, guys, this super washing soda, do not substitute for baking soda. There is a difference, and you most certainly don't want to substitute. Super washing soda, not baking soda. So that's about it, guys. I hope the info was helpful. We had a good time making the laundry soap and making the video for you, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks again for watching this video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos.